Does Mark Merrill scream to avoid death?
Ah! I probably would scream if I was trying to avoid death. Most people probably would, depending on what that situation was.
Which of you is the better Lux? That's obvious. And I'm gonna have to go with me.
Yes, I agree.
Because I'm measuring it relative to our own ELO bracket. And given how Mark is a better Lux, 100%.
I also do a better cosplay of the Lady Light as well.
What games are you playing right now?
I actually wanted to get back into Elder Scrolls Online, which I played around beta. So I've been gearing up my Stamina Nightblade, maxed out two-hander, use a set called Shadow Walker, a whole bunch of different monster masks. I can come in, blow somebody else up. I teleport elves, but we are. Our guild is now Elven Retribution. What games are you playing right now?
I am hopelessly addicted to PUBG right now. The stakes are super high. Permadeath within the context of a session, 100 people.
126 people, go.
You played it, right?
Mm-hmm. And how many chicken dinners have you gotten?
Oh, dude, at least 10. But the solo chicken dinner still eludes me. What do you guys do during Worlds? Do you watch every game?
I probably have only maybe missed 20% or so of the matches probably that we've ever had, in Worlds. We always still have some level of stress, like, last year, SKT finals, etc. Where they're up 2-0, we're like, oh my God, please don't be 3-0. We were down, on the floor, ready to go out in case it was a 3-0 sweep. So I guess we always still have some pressure involved because we want it to be the best experience possible for everybody watching.
So why did you call it League of Legends?
Well, we almost didn't call it League of Legends. Part of the League of Legends name, I guess it feels like it fits from an IP standpoint too, because there's so many different legendary characters that are so interesting, and the game's really about them. And the original name of League of Legends was actually League of Legends, Clash of Fates.
For a while, we had the name Onslaught, representing of just the constant barrage of minions from both bases, and it was way too metal, like the whole facade. Yeah. What was the name that would show up on our debugger and that was sort of tied to the engine name? Do you remember?
Hero Wars.
Hero Wars. Yeah.
Oh God. It was like the second week when we started putting files in folders. It was like, it's Hero Wars, because who knows what the hell we're gonna call it. For Brandon, how do you feel about Rise and his many reworks?
I don't actually play that much Rise, so it doesn't...
Sacrilege.
It doesn't affect me as a player that much. What I will say on a serious note is we don't like doing reworks for the sake of change. We think change for change's sake is a bad thing because it forces everyone to have to relearn something. So we only want to rework something if we're actually improving it or fixing a problem in the game. And so a lot of reworks is actually a sign that we're not really nailing it. And so yeah. So I don't feel great about that. I wish we didn't have to do so many, and all our champs were in awesome shape.
Looking back on Riot and League's history, is there anything that you'd do differently?
This may just be an over-rationalization, but I feel we've made tons of mistakes, but I almost feel
at least I have.
Right? Yeah, he's made tons.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel you learn something from those mistakes. So I almost feel like going back and doing things differently the first time, sure, with if we could take what we knew now, that's one thing, but I sort of feel like there's a lot more learning in our failures than in our successes, and so I kind of cherish them.
Do you think parents will ever see games as a valuable way to spend time?
Nope. One framework to think about games is some games have different types of nutritional value, just like certain types of food do, right? You wouldn't want to spend all your time eating junk food. I think you can really get things out of playing games. My first game that I was super hardcore on, this maybe predates many of you guys, but was a text-based MUD. But it taught me to type better. It taught me all kinds of new words. And so I think parents who grew up playing games will actually get that. And I think parents who sort of never were exposed to games will always have one degree of being a little incredulous about it. So, what were your first impressions of each other? That's awesome.
That is awesome, because I remember my first impression of this guy. Oh, but you like video games? Oh, and you're from Los Angeles. Me too, brother. And we were 16.
I always thought Meryl was dude, you don't look like a gamer though. And you're the captain of the football team, and you do play D&D? Do you know what D&D is, bro?
If I was gonna get a tattoo, it'd be Thaco, which is 2-hit armor class 0. It's an old 2nd edition D&D thing, but anyway. Can Mark 1v1 Faker? No. I would be embarrassed. They would beat me 1,000 out of 1,000 times.
What sport are we talking about?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Although Faker is the unkillable demon king,
Yeah,
so
I think it probably just applies to anything.
Yeah.
He'd be in your head no matter what. All right, well, thanks guys for submitting the questions, and it's fun for us. So hopefully, fun for you guys too. Thanks.
see ya.